Hey friends, it's Kevin here, your Sacramento Stockton area realtor and lender here with this week's weekly real estate report. Well, let's take a look at the chart and see what we have going on this week. All right, starting here with our median list price, it is continuing to go down, down, down as fears of the economy turning worse are driving home prices down. And this indicates right here where sellers are actually noting that and listing their house less and less. Of course, we look over here at the median sales price, which is continuing its slide down, down, down as buyers are not willing to pay as much for a home and are paying less, and sellers are accepting less. Well, now what's a little interesting to me is, well, it's all interesting, of course, but we can look at the green line here as where we see the available inventory is going down. Well, that is part of the natural cycle for this time of year. And we've got the pending sales kind of plateaued out here at the bottom, at least for this week. We'll see what happens by next week. All right. So what is a little bit interesting? Well, we just had our election and we're still up in the air as to the actual outcome of everything to see who will control the House and the Senate. So we have that weighing on. I guess the stock market did very well today. So we have up days, we have down days, we have good news, we have bad news. But let's talk about rates and what that is actually doing to the average home buyer. So rates this week, Freddie Mac says rates this week went back over 7% to 7.08% with 0.9 of a point up front. Well, let's take a look and see what that really means. All right, so looking here at our chart, if we look right around in here where we clearly peaked out, we will take the week of April 14th for two reasons. One, if we look at the micro numbers in there, we will see that it actually was the absolute peak of the market. And number two, that happens to be my anniversary. So, all right, so the peak of the market right there. And we could look at the same time, the market peaked out with a median sales price of $605,000. And on that week, Freddie Mac said the average rate was 5%. So let's take the median sales price. Let's take the actually, I'll be looking at this line down here. So the yellow line, median sales price right there. Median sales price, we'll take the median sales price of 605. We'll take the average rate of 5%. We'll say you put 20% down. Your payment, PITI, which is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. So kind of doing the average on all that, you're going to come up with a monthly payment of right about $3,350. So $3,350 is what you, a home buyer, would have paid to buy a house, median and average on that week. So here we are, fast forward to November the 10th, a little over 6 months away, right about 7 months away. The median sales price, follow it down, is at $525,000. Freddie Mac says the average rate right now is 7%. Put 20% down, and your payment is $3,461. So home prices have gone down in the last 7 months. Median sales price, $80,000, saving you, buyer, money. However, rates have gone up 2%, costing you, buyer, more money. How much more money? Well, when all is said and done, you're about $113 difference between buying back in April versus buying today. So all in all, it's not as bad as it sounds. In fact, we could take it one step further and say there's actually some good news, because if we go back here into the April, look at our inventory was here. People were really fighting for homes. You had to beg sellers, please take my offer. I will mow the lawn at your new house for a month. I will name my child after you. You had to make all kinds of weird concessions. We'll give you a non-refundable deposit. All right, fast forward today. Yes, you're paying another $100 more, but for that $100, you have a much better inventory. You can choose the house you want in the neighborhood you want more easily. Yes, you're going to pay slightly more, but you also get your contingencies. You get to do a regular inspection. You get to walk away when things don't look good. So all in all, I think I would rather buy in this time with a higher interest rate than I would back then with a low interest rate and a high sales price. Now, I just want to throw out a word of caution here. Yes, the one nice thing about buying with home prices lower and interest rates higher is you can refinance and get a lower rate. You can never refinance and get a better sales price. It just doesn't make sense. Sales price is a sales price. And I am getting a lot of phone calls from people saying, well, I was just talking to this lender, a friend, you name it, and what a great time to buy because we can always refinance later. To that I say, no, you can't. You can't always refinance later. You really have to have a few things in play to refinance. And please always remember this. Number one, you buy a house right now, your rate's 7%. Okay, you want to refinance 2 years down the road. Great. You need a couple of things. One, your credit and income still have to be there. So hopefully you still have good credit, you still have good income, and you qualify for the mortgage. Number two, rates do have to go down. What if they don't go down? Well, then you're not going to refinance, right? I mean, if rates continue to go up 7, 8, 9, 10%, it's possible. Whether or not it's likely is a whole other story, but you can't refinance if the rate is higher. I mean, you can, but why would you want to, right? Unless you're taking cash out. So got to have income, credit, the rate has to go down. And lastly, you have to have equity. If the market tanks, not saying it will, but if, and you lose home values and you go upside down, you can't refinance under traditional programs to get a better rate. So all of those things have to line up before you get a better rate. In other words, you still have to have income and credit, rates have to go down, and values have to go up. So keep that in mind. That is what I have for you this week. Hope you have a great weekend coming up, and I'll see you here hopefully next week. Take care. Bye.